to the SBS podcast. My name is Coach Ryan. You can follow me on Instagram and YouTube at Ryan at Strategics. If you're one of the returning listeners, welcome back, fam. And if you're here for the first time, thank you for checking it out. Buckle up because we're really diving in and we're getting uncomfortable. Over the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about economic mobility, what that means, the likelihood that if you are born in a certain economic status, that you will die the economic status. And I pointed out that in the metro close to me, the Atlanta metro, that we are ranked 50 out of 50 when it comes to the discussion around economic mobility. What that means is that in America, the Atlanta metro currently ranks as the worst state with the highest possibility that if you were born poor, then you will die poor. And it's time for us to talk about it. Furthermore, I look at things that come across the screen on social media, such as people being shot over a pair of Jordans, and it just makes me want this even more. It makes me want to dive into this even more, and I can't care about coddling people's feelings. So today, we're going to talk about the psychology behind the liability-driven lifestyles. I want to talk about the psychology behind how we build our lives, because most financial problems are not math problems. They're actually mindset problems. A liability-driven lifestyle doesn't start with numbers. It starts with identity. It starts with what you believe success looks like. For a lot of people, success looks like the car, the house, the designer labels, the vacations, the image. And hear me out, there's nothing wrong with nice things. But here's the question. Are you buying assets or are you financing an identity? That's where the psychology comes in. When income increases, what usually happens? Expenses increase. You get a raise, you go and you upgrade your apartment. You start making more, you upgrade your car. You level up the lifestyle. And before you know it, your income went up, but your freedom didn't, because your liabilities grew with it. Now, you're not just working to live. You're working to maintain your image, maintain the payments, maintain the expectations. And here's what people don't talk about. That pressure changes you. When most of your income is already spoken for, you don't feel powerful. You feel trapped. You can't really leave the job you hate. You can't take a risk. You can't pivot. You can't breathe, because the liabilities own your decisions. And it rarely starts intentionally. It starts subtly. Comparison, huge one. Social media, family expectations, and wanting to look like you made it. We don't just buy things. We're buying validation. We're trying to buy status. We're trying to buy proof. We're trying to buy relief from insecurity. But all of that relief is temporary. Payment is permanent. A liability-driven lifestyle is dangerous because it ties your peace to your paycheck. Trust me, I know. If something disrupts the income, everything is shaking. That's why two people can make the same salary and live completely different lives. One builds margin, the other builds pressure. One builds assets quietly, the other builds appearances loudly. And here's the truth. Some people aren't financially stuck because they don't make enough. They're stuck because they're financing a version of themselves they feel obligated to maintain. It's psychological. That's identity driven. If your worth is tied to what you drive, what you wear, or where you live, then your debt feels justified. Because you're protecting something deeper than comfort. You're protecting your ego. And at that moment, that's when we have to slow down and start asking better questions. Not, can I afford the payment, but will this payment cost my freedom? Not, will this impress people, but will this increase my net worth? Because every liability you add reduces flexibility, and flexibility is power. The goal isn't to live small, though. The goal is to live strategic. There's nothing wrong with enjoying your money. But if your lifestyle grows faster than your assets, you're only building stress. If your liabilities grow faster than your income, you're building vulnerability. And if your identity is built on appearance, you're building instability. The psychology of liability-driven lifestyles is simple. We confuse looking successful with being secure. But security isn't loud. It's structured, it's disciplined, and it's patient. It prioritizes ownership over image. So today I want you to think about this. Are your financial decisions building freedom, or are they building pressure? Because economic mobility isn't just about making more money. It's about building a life that your money can actually sustain. And that starts in the mind, not the marketplace. Fam, I know we want nice things and we can have nice things. But what's next? What's after that? Because just like people running around shooting for Jordans, those Jordans lose value the moment you put them on your feet. Steward what you have and see if you really are falling short. Because as I just said a few minutes ago, most people aren't living a difficult lifestyle because they're not making enough money. They're living a difficult lifestyle because of their decisions. Confront yourself. It's uncomfortable to tell yourself the truth about where you stand financially, because the reality is most of us don't know. Until next time, keep your head up. I promise I'm going to keep giving y'all as much as I can. Stick with me.
I'm feeling better than ever. Scratch that. Better than better. Only live once. Can't be me. Wow. I'm living forever. Turn up the bass. I stay out of trouble. I'm walking with God and stomp on the devil. I had to follow the plan when I did not understand. Now I just feel like the man. Watch how I'm doing my dance. Bigger than me with your brand. All that I need is a chance. I pray that we see promised land. I know that we can.